So I'm asking the audience what you think. Am I wrong in chastising this guy, Aaron McGinnis? Okay, I explained on the last segment. It's all good. It's all good. He's the guy. He's the nice guy. Okay, it's getting close to closing time at Little Caesars Pizza in Longmont. This is the one that's on
9th and Kaufman.
9th and Kaufman, right there in the corner. So Nick was there, Phildo was there, King Kong Mike was there, and I was there. And so Nick and Phil, as I said in the last segment, they just had a little bit of a disrespect, and sometimes they start bitching at each other. Now, this was when you took off in his car, right?
Yeah, when you're all in...
Was that what this is, when you took off in his car?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now I remember.
That was the whole reasoning behind it. I took off in his car when you all were in Hurricane.
You do this part. Why were you in his car, and why did you take off in his car?
Well, it was the time of the year where it was kind of cold out. It wasn't really warm, so... He left his car out there with me.
And I think you were too young to go to the bar. We didn't have a fake ID for you.
No.
At that point. And so Mike and I had probably went and had a drink or two. Was this like finishing the? This was finishing the drinks and getting something to eat is probably what it was, right?
Yeah, and it was like either Hurricane Charlie's or I think it was Hurricane Charlie's at that point.
You were supposed to sit in Phildo's car
and just stay
at Hurricane Charlie. You decided to start the car and drive down the road
and take it for a cruise and then come back and couldn't park it in the same spot.
And Phil had a fit, and you guys. So to explain King Kong Mike, he's the guy that you don't know what he's going to get upset about. He's happy. I've had women, girls, when they meet Mike, he's so nice and feminine acting towards girls or women that they thought he was gay, even though he's 270-pound, tough, solid guy. You know, barrel, just he wasn't fat, but he wasn't skinny. You know, he just had a lot of weight on him, and he was fast and he could fight. Took 10 years of Taekwondo but you never knew when he was just going to go off. And a lot of times, if he wanted the situation to be the way he wanted it, if somebody wasn't behaving in the way that he wanted, he would start to lose his mind. So as Nick and Phil started fighting over this, why did you drive my car? It's like, hey, Nick's like, don't worry about it, man. And then you have Aaron McGinnis over there. It's all good. Right? But you had Nick and Phil arguing. Well, the back door of Little Caesars, which is where we came in, because we were employees, a couple of us. It's a big metal secure. It's a hardy
steel
door. Mike asked Nick and Phil to stop. And Phil just kept on belly aching about Nick's kidnapping his car for a ride. And so Mike just turned to him, grabbed him, and Phil's about a 230-pound kind of fat dude, right? Mm-hmm. He grabs Phil, Mike does, and throws him across the back of Little Caesars and bashes him right through the metal door. I mean, he literally breaks the door and not totally broke it. It was still, but it was. I mean, he dented the door like you could. It was like a cartoon. You know, like when the coyote hits the ground and makes a coyote shape in the ground.
Yeah,
that's what Phil's body did to this door.
Yeah,
and then Mike followed Phil outside after he threw him out there, and he started pointing at it. He's like, "That's what you get if you don't just shut up. I'm tired of hearing it." And then Nick decides. He thinks it's funny.
Yeah, I was laughing.
He's like, he's laughing. He's laughing. And then Mike swings around. Now it's your turn. And Nick is a small guy.
I was probably 125 pounds, maybe.
And Mike and I were at the top of our strength. We were lifting huge weights at the gym. We were strong. We were big. He grabbed Nick like a piece of firewood and picked him up in the air just like an action movie, and threw him across the parking lot.
Probably like 15 feet.
About 15 feet. He threw it. I've never seen a body fly in the air like that, except for someone jumping out of an airplane.
That's a good way to put it.
Mike yells at Nick, and he's like, "You want to laugh? Is it funny now?"
I ain't laughing now.
So when the situation, and so Nick and Aaron McGinnis were a little, they were more kind of the pot smoking kind of friends kind of guys. They were a little more on the same wavelength, and so I guess Aaron McGinnis wasn't liking all this happening. I think it was his first day as a closing manager. This was happening, but Mike talked to Phil, and Mike talked to Nick, and Nick and Phil decided they didn't want to have any more arguments. We just sort of like, all right, man, are we all good now?
We're all good.
Nick and Phil probably didn't feel all good, but we weren't hearing Aaron McGinnis saying it was all good anymore. But we went into Aaron, and we're like, we saw some of the damage to the door, but the door's shut and it locked. It's still shut and locked. It just had a big, huge body.
Phil dent in it.
A Phil dent. There's a big Phildo imprint. And but we talked to Aaron McGinnis. He's like, it's all in this way. He's like, what are you going to say? Just tell him, the trash can. Or we came up about 15 things he could have said that why it would have kind of dented the door. It's all good. He did. He said it too. I think when we were like, hey, Jeff and Tammy, the owners, they were a young college couple. They'd gotten out of college, and franchise pizza joint was their first attempt at business. So and Jeff was kind of he was definitely a fraternity guy. Regardless, we left that night from the Geo Metro incident that turned into Mike having a fit. And I got to work, I think, Monday or Tuesday, because it was the weekend. I think I started on Monday. I think I worked Tuesday through Saturday or Monday through Friday, whatever it was. I got back to work on Monday. When I walked in the door, Jeff had this attitude. And he's like, so tell me, Jason, is Mike going to pay me for my door? He just hits me at that right when I hit the door. He doesn't set me aside. He's a young new owner of a business, frat guy. But I think when you have a big, muscly guy like me working for you, these pizza shop owners, they liked me when I worked for them because they felt like I was a piece of property that they owned. But if I was getting out of control, they wanted to show everybody that they can boss around the big muscle guy, right? Yeah, so he hits me at that right when I hit the door. And I think the first delivery I take, or the first chance I got to walk out, I got in my car and I left. Because I knew that I was like, I wanted to slap that guy.
Yeah. And
I decided, well, instead of getting an assault charge, over him and his dumb comment, I just quit. I just drove and left and quit. Essentially what had happened is Aaron McGinnis, the guy that's everybody's buddy, suave, nice guy, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good, except for when I'm going to rat on you and rat the whole group out. We were all friends. We all worked together.
Right.
And I guess when it comes down to doing the right thing, I guess, is that the right thing? That's what a rule follower does.
Yeah.
But he's a rat.
Yeah, he said it's all good.
And I quit my job, and Jeff and Tammy, they didn't have good people working for them. When people like me, and I may not have been the best person to be working for them. Yeah, we all ended up quitting that place over the course of whatever weeks or months. They ended up losing that pizza place and all that. But regardless, the next time I found Aaron McGinnis, it was at some party or something, and Mike and we found him at a party, and we didn't destroy the man, the dude, but
really, y'all found him at a party?
Yeah, we went face to face with him, man. I was like, hey,
remember
rat, jerk at, using a little foul language. You're dead meat. How dare you do that to us? What are you doing? Aaron McGinnis, you suck. I was like, I think I should take you outside and pop your head off like a dandelion, right? And he literally was, I think he trickled his pants. I really do. He freaked out. And then I asked him, I was like, is it all good now, right? Is it all good? Yeah, what a miserable piece of crap you are, right? You guys got to go to rumble.com and look at this stuff. DJ Cumberbund. Fake News Friday Show. Click on the channel. Get over to Rumble.
Du hast mich.